that move them from plan A to plan B. Anybody else with a goal? An example of a product goal that you have?
Almost similar to yours. 3 steps. 3 steps to the outcome. So, I think this was the product UX. At times, it will take a long time for the customer to get to the outcome. So, reducing the product UX to everything they're trying to do, 3 steps max.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. That's a concrete one. And what I've realized is that the more you keep, again, just to emphasize the importance of repetition, keep repeating it, it becomes like a mantra that everybody understands and that everybody is going after. It's also okay to use things like objectives and key results or KPIs, depending on your organizations. But just having something very, very clear, very, very simple that you are going after is a really big part of your product strategy, and this should be what you actually define eventually. Maybe to continue, the other one is around your differentiation. I think we talked a bit about this, but it's more about how do you differentiate yourself. When I saw this image, I remembered a certain brand that actually provides water. It's a Kenyan brand. And I think that's one of the hardest businesses because at the end of the day, water is water, right? But for some reason, you will find yourself is it because of the price? Is it because of the branding? What is affecting you? But I remembered one particular entrepreneur who has just branded her bottles in a way to make them like more executive. So she is not targeting the average consumer who goes to the supermarket and picks a bottle, but she's focusing more like the people who are going for conferences and the hotels and all of that. And the only difference is actually even the bottle, the design of the bottle alone really is a way in which she has chosen to differentiate herself. So yeah, I think in your product strategy, you really have to be clear. Is your product cheaper? Is your product better in terms of quality? And if that is the case, then make sure that is what you're shouting at. Is it that it is easier to use? Is it that, again, you've created a brand for yourself? But being very clear on what is different about you is super important. And then lastly, this is going to be like the last thing. I think I'm not going to go in depth in terms of like how you create a roadmap. But again, in the process of you crafting a product strategy, you have to talk to your engineering team. You have to make sure that they understand and they are aligned with you in terms of your goals. And then you have to work together to prioritize features based on everything that you have done in the past in terms of like understanding your competition and also understanding yourself. Sorry. And then you have to come up with timelines, like by when? When is this going to be done? When is this going to be done? Again, this is never cast on stone. Most of the time, we see that timelines always go past, but at least having an initial goal is important. And then sharing all of these with your stakeholders to make sure that they contribute to it. Figuring out where are the milestones, right? It's always good to set a milestone where you say, this is what we want to do by this time. And that being like one big milestone for you, and then going after another milestone. Analyzing any risks that you might have, and again, your engineering team and your engineering managers decide how to allocate resources, and then sharing all of this. So it is super, super important to really create that roadmap and document it in whichever way that you do in your organization. So in conclusion, I'll say when you're crafting a product strategy, make sure you're clear on who the customers are and the needs that you're solving. You're clear on your competition and what is unique about them and what makes them tick. Make sure you define your vision and have very clear goals. And finally, make sure you define your roadmap. I'm going to end it there. I think it's 11. I don't know if there are any questions.